What's up? Thanks for coming back to the Clay Allen review. In this video, I'm going to show you something that I just did today, which is an easy lighting setup for my studio. If that's something you're into, stick around. All right, so one of the things that was bugging me the most was you sit down, you get comfortable, and then you realize you forgot to turn on this light and that light and this light. So automation or ease of access is the key. We're trying to find ways to make everything easier and simpler, quicker, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're trying to do. So I had this light right here and the one that used to be here are like those, 10, 12 inch panel lights, the video lights that you can adjust the temperature, the light temperature, the brightness. The problem with them is their battery backup or battery, whatever. You can charge them up. I've got them plugged in all the time and I just manually turn them on and turn them off. That's the pain in the ass. That's the part that I'm trying to automate or trying to make a little better. Not to say I'm lazy and I can't get up and turn the light on, but sometimes, like I said, you sit down, you get all comfortable, you get settled in, you get your headphones on. In my case, if I didn't turn on one of these lights, I have to take the headphones back off, go over, do it. I just want it all on an app. And I didn't want to spend a bunch of money because some of the lights, like the Philips Hue, whatever those lights, some of them can be really expensive. The light bulbs alone, the outlets. I found a brand of light bulbs. They sell at Walmart. And I'm probably butchering the name. Feit. It's F-E-I-T. They're what did I do with the box? Oh, I threw it away. But good thing I have a video of it. But they're your LED smart light bulbs. They're Wi-Fi light bulbs. So you hook them to your Wi-Fi and then you can access them from the app. So I had originally set up the light that's in the ceiling with one of those bulbs. And I'll show you, you can just reach over overhead light right here. Turns the light off, and then you can turn it on and then you can go in, if you've seen one app, you've seen them all. They kind of have the same similar things. You can adjust the dimming, the brightness, go higher, go brighter, go dimmer. You can adjust the color. You can set schedules. You can do all that stuff. Hey, real quick, as I was editing this, I saw something that I wanted to put in there that I didn't put in there, or that I should have put in there that I didn't. And it was the app. Just all I did was I put together some screenshots. I'll go through and show you each one and just kind of dive into exploring the app just a little bit. I was going to try to screen share my phone, but I've got two different iPhones running and I was having an issue. So I just didn't do that. I didn't bother with it. So we'll jump over here. This is your main screen where all of your devices or, everything that you set up, your light bulbs, whatever it is, this is where those are. The only thing that's not really showing here, I think, is a plug that I have, and it's down at the bottom of that thing there. This picture, but you can go in here. So this is where you control. You can hit power to turn them on or turn them off. If you click on it, it's going to dive into that setting, and it's going to give you, or that device, and it's going to give you the settings for that device. And depending on what device it is, if it's like a regular light bulb, like a white or warm white, you're going to be limited to just your brightness and your color temperature. If it's a multicolored bulb like the ones I have behind me, it'll open up to other things that you can do inside of the app, and you can set all kinds of stuff up. So there's where your devices are listed, and then the next is if you go into one. So now you can see where you can. How do I do that? That way. You can see where you can run your brightness up to 100%, or you can run it down. I use 1% a lot of times if it's too close, like this key light. I've got that at 1%. And then as you can see down at the bottom, it's got dimming. You've got the tunable section, the colors, because this particular light is a multicolored light. So you can go in there and pick your colors. You can do effects. You can do music. It's really cool. So we'll get to that next. But this is that initial screen when you click on a device. This is going into like dialing in your color temperature on a if you're using just the white part, this is where you would adjust that. So then the next thing that I have is when you've got a multicolored light. So if you got a multicolored light, this is where you can dial in and choose your colors. And at the bottom, it's got kind of a palette just to start off with. And then you can go up into the color wheel and pick whatever you want. And then you can adjust the, I think it's the opacity or the brightness. I can't see it that far. Oh, actually, I'll just look in my, I'm looking at, you guys can probably see it and you're probably laughing at me right now. Saturation. Okay, so that's the saturation. That's going to be whether or not it's like deep rich color or a little less, more pastel-y. Pastel-y? Is that a word? I don't know. I just used it though. So, and then the next one, this is a feature that's new to me because my other one, my other color, the one that's directly behind me, I don't believe it has this option. I'm gonna have to look at it, but you can do like different stuff with, let's see, what does it say? Solid fade. I gotta put the glasses on because I can't. So solid, this is gonna be your effects, your breathing effects. Solid fade, strobe effect, solid strobe, and a fade effect. I don't use those typically because it draws so much attention to that. I'm usually trying to focus on what I'm saying, so for that reason, I don't do that. But there's that option if you wanted to. I think it's cool to have. And then the next thing I've got here is, so this particular one, like I said, that's on this shelf with music. And so I tested it out, and what happens is when you set it, maybe I should show you that. When you set it, it just hears the music and starts doing different stuff with the lights, which is kind of neat. For $7 and change for one bulb versus, I think, like some of the Philips Hue ones are like $15, $20. You're getting a lot of cool features out of a little cheap bulb, but it'll go along with the music. So maybe we'll check that out. All right, and the next one, this one is where you can set up routines. You've got your power restore, which that's the option to, you can assign what it does when, say the power cuts off, and then when it comes back on, you can choose whether it's going to be off, whether it's going to be on, whether it's going to go back to the way you had it, whatever happened or however it was when the power went out. That's what that does. The circadian rhythm. This is going to adjust the light temperature. So say on a white light, it's going to adjust the temperature to coincide with your sleep and wake cycles. I'm looking at a thing by adjusting the color temperature and brightness of your smart bulbs throughout the day. So like when it's time to chill and like say it's in your bedroom and you want to go relax, at that time, it just naturally goes down to a warmer light instead of a brighter light, kind of getting you in that wind down stage. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's move on to the next one. And this was my favorite part. I thought my favorite part was just having them in a line and being able to turn them on and turn them off. Nope. When you set up a scene, you can set up, so like right now, I've got a studio off and a studio on because I made the on first, and when you make the next one, it puts, just the way it orders it. So now I can just tap on this and turn all the lights off and all the lights on at once. I think that's awesome. Not only can you go in and individually adjust each light, but now you can set up a scene and say when I walk in the room, I can already have it pulled up and turn on every light that I want on because of whatever I'm getting ready to sit down and start doing. And then as you come into the app, at the top, you can see your scenes that are set up, and you would just hit one of those scenes to turn on your lights. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit Studio 1. This is the one that turns it on. And all my lights are on. You talk about streamlining. This is really making things smooth. And I didn't spend a lot of money. What are we talking? This softbox was $30. The bulbs are $7 something. Call it $8. I've got 4 of the bulbs. So $8 times 4, $32, $62. And I had the lamp back here. This one is a lamp that I just purchased. I forgot to put that in here, but it's just a cheap little accent lighting lamp that I got at Walmart. I think it was like $11. So 64, 70, 70, call it $75. And I've got 4 lights, and I can have them all on different patterns, different schedules, whatever I need to do, all at the touch of my fingers, right at my fingertips. That's what's cool to me. This part right here woke my eyes up and I was like, this is what I've been looking for. All right, so let me get back to the rest of the video. So what I didn't have was this light back here behind my cabinet. I had that, just one of those regular tube lights, which is actually, oops, yeah, this hand. It's actually over there right now. So I haven't solved that solution. That one I physically have to turn off and turn on. But that's what I'm trying to slowly and surely eliminate. You can get the LED light strips from this company, from Walmart, and it's one of the cheaper brands. That's why I'm talking about it, because it's something I could afford. So you can get the light strips, and that's probably what's next is, I keep pointing in the wrong spot, replacing that with an LED light strip that I can go right to here, because this brand has LED light strips, plain like light bulbs that'll do like warm colors and cool colors or cool temperatures, and then they've got multicolored lights like what you see behind me. So now I've got all that hooked up on the app, and I can just, as easily as hitting the button. Of course, I hit the button and nothing happens. I can turn that light off. I can turn it back on. The one in the corner, I can turn that off, turn that back on. My key light right here, turn that off, turn it back on. It takes a minute sometimes. There it goes. I got to be patient. I'll hit the button sometimes and it won't activate, and then I'll hit it again and it'll activate and then you know what I mean? But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. This light up here is a Neewer Softbox. I'll put a link for that in the description. I can put links for the other stuff, but you can get them at Walmart. But I'll put links. I'll see if I can find them on Amazon, and I'll throw a link in the description. I got this Softbox, was like $30. So this is probably the most expensive part. And then I just put one of these light bulbs in it, and I can change whatever I want to change, right on the fly. That's not the light. Let me just show you. Where are we at? Here we are. So right now I have it kind of where I want it. The only thing that you don't get is you don't get the numbers for like your Kelvin, but you can still get by. You can still handle doing it this way, but just on the fly, I can switch over and change it to a warm color. I don't know how much of a difference that made because I wasn't looking at the screen, but there you go. I can see the orangeness of it, but I'll switch it back over to where I had it roughly, I think. And that's what I like. That's what makes it simple. That's what streamlines all of this. If you can spend less time dealing with lights, getting up, getting down, turning this on, turning that off, the less time you can do that, the more time you can spend creating. And when you get done creating, you can spend some more time editing and not spend as much time wasting your energy on these lights, turning them off, turning them on. And I know there's a lot of people out there that probably already have expensive setups with power strip things with switches and stuff. That's not what I'm about right now. I'm about what doesn't hurt my pocket and what works and what looks good and gets me by. And that's the route that I went with this. That's why I just wanted to share that with you guys, to give you an idea what you can do. Good stuff. To me, this is efficiency without breaking the bank, and I love this kind of stuff. This is the kind of neat things that I like to bring to this channel whenever I find it or whenever I think of something. It's usually because I'm trying to save money or I want to get something accomplished, and I'm trying to think, how can I do this without going overboard, without digging deep in my pockets, and still get the same result? This is how. That's all I had for easy lighting setup for tonight. I appreciate you watching. If you like this, if you got something out of it, give me a thumbs up. That's always a positive. And if you haven't subscribed already and you would like to, please do. And when you do, hit the bell so you get notified every time I put up new content. That's it for me for tonight. So for easy lighting setup and ease of access stuffs, I'm out.